Hello everyone and welcome to Kimball's Curiosity. And in today's video we're going to discuss the issue I have with the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. And you're not going to probably believe what it is. Or if you're in my age bracket, you may guess. I did in a previous video an unboxing of products that I bought for my YouTube channel under the recommendation of some of the YouTubers. I had some criterias and then I picked the items. One of them obviously is the Osmo Pocket 4. But what none of those YouTube's videos showed was that when you bought the product, you needed to activate the said product. Are you kidding me? Because I know exactly what is required to activate it. I got to download an app to my smartphone and connect my smartphone to the Pocket 4. And of course, all those apps, you have to give permission to access your phone. There's no bypassing it. The terms and services says blah, 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 blah. And of course, you have to agree that they are allowed to access your files, your location, your phone information. Probably, we all know what it's required when you download apps onto your phone. And at no time, if you want to utilize this app, that you can say no. And I have to download the app to utilize something that I purchased. Now everybody says, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is I like to keep my information to me. And quite frankly, I think it's time for companies to pay us for our information. Because we're buying their product. Why is it that when we buy their product, that they feel that they have the right to access our data? This started in the software industry, started in the computer, and now is starting to move into the hardware industry, as well as starting to move into cars, trucks, and everything else. Now, here's a product right here that you can use right out of the box. Congratulations, Holham. Good on you, not requiring me to download an app to utilize this device. Now, I know that you can, once this is activated, take the app off your phone and you're done. The problem is they already got your information, so what's the sense? What's the sense in taking the app and removing it? Because they already got your information. Anyways. Both of these, if you want to do the firmware update, do require you to download the app also. Now, but if this is functioning fine, I have a choice. I have a choice whether or not I want to update the firmware on this. Also, from my understanding, there's for these, the apps give you extra functions on both items. But I don't know what they are, and that's coming up in another review. It's still, I have a choice whether or not I want those functions or not. And as far as I'm concerned, those extra functions should still be in the product that you purchased, not forcing me, again, to download an app to get some special advanced AI or I don't know what it is. Like I said, I haven't fully did the review on this, on the Pocket 4 or the Holham yet. I did start doing a video on activating it. Unfortunately, my audio on that was off. Obviously, that video is now no longer useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through what I did to activate it. When I took it out of the box, I got the little basic instruction sheet that doesn't really tell you that you have to activate it to utilize it. There's nothing on here. It just says, go download the app. Well, I said, I don't want the app. I'm just going to utilize the Pocket 4 and just go around and start filming. Something tweaked in my mind and I went and checked online and sure enough, it says you need to download the app to utilize this product. And I went, great. Not happy, obviously. So what I did was I took my phone's QR code reader and I did it on the sheet here. It came up and then said, the file may be harmful to your phone. So I stopped, backed out, went to the Google Store, downloaded the app from the Google Store. Now, I'm not saying the file from DJI's website is nefarious. It's just that my phone said it could be potentially harmful. And while I was doing it, I didn't want to take a chance. So that's how I went about doing it. I found out later by going online and checking that in the past, the app was not available on the store and that it was a false positive that came up on the phone. That's fine. You can do either or because it is now on the App Store, or you can download it from their website. Either or, it doesn't matter. Next thing I did was I turned it on, flipped the screen. That's how you turn it on. And a barcode came up and it said 5, and I can't again remember what it said, 5 something. And this is where the confusion started happening. I then went to the app, and of course, everything came up. You know the terms and services, like the standard stuff. And it's funny, on one of the things which is starting to show up on every terms and services is that you are agreeing to, once you agree to this, to binding arbitration, and you can't do a class action lawsuit, that you have to do binding arbitration first. It's showing up on everything now. These are the way companies get around from being sued when they make mistakes that affect everybody. They say, oh, no, you got to go to binding arbitration if you want compensation. For example, if my data gets compromised from DJI. DJI also requires, for their gimbal, one-time activation on their gimbal also. I checked that. I was almost going to buy their gimbal, and I'm glad I didn't. That being said, I digress to that. So you have to agree to the terms and services to move on. You can't have no choice. If you reject, it just says you cannot use the app unless you agree to it. So of course, obviously agree, loads up the app. And this is where some of the things popped up that was weird, because my phone, when I went past the QR code, because I swiped, the camera started, sorry, not the phone, the camera started working. And I went, wait a minute, it's not supposed to work. Well, then I don't have to activate it. Well, you get 5 tries to utilize this camera, and then it locks itself if you haven't activated it. That's what that meant, but it wasn't clear on the screen. It just said, it wasn't saying 5 operations only until activation. It just said 5, and again, I'm not sure exactly what the wording was, but it wasn't clear. I go down here on the app, it now pops up, you want to join the project. And I'm looking at this, I'm going share data, DJI hardware and software info. Data includes product model, firmware version, application, mobile device. Data includes operation device system specification and network information. And then diagnostic and usage of data. The only thing that you didn't agree to in the very beginning was the diagnostic and usage data. That kind of threw me off. Why are you asking me to join a project when you already have asked me for my information anyways? Of course, I did not agree to this. It then loads the resource files for the camera. As we sit here and wait for it, it does that. And then it comes up and it says connect and capture. Doesn't say connect, capture, and or activate. It just comes, so I hit that button, and it moves over to the next file folder. It says download and edit. Well, I don't want that either. Profile, account info, after sales service, DJI forums, and other services. Move on, it tells you a bunch other stuff that you can do. You click on that, and then it goes, hey, you want to go to the Academy? No, I know about the Academy. Now you get the home screen. Nowhere does it say where to activate, anywhere. So you're trying to find it, you're going through the phone looking for activation. DJI, you need to be a little bit clearer on your app to say activate also. because individuals who are not tech savvy are not going to understand how to activate this device if it gets locked after 5 tries. Now, I understand this was specifically tailored to vloggers, YouTubers, social media accounts, but individuals may just want the camera for a video camera to take on vacation, and they may not be totally tech savvy. And they will get confused and frustrated with your devices. And this is a wide range of usage I can see down the line. I have not done a full video review of it, so I can't recommend it yet. That being said, the next step I did was I figured out it was the camera function, hit the camera function to connect to the camera. It showed up activate. Again, I had to agree to the terms and services, and I can't remember, there was 2 check boxes that I had to check to move on to activate the gimbal. Seriously, DJI, just let me activate it without having to give anything to you. Next, again, pops up, says, oh, to get the warranty tied to you, you need to create an account. You couldn't bypass that either. You had to go, it takes you directly to make an account. Now, I didn't go try to get out of it to see if the gimbal was able to use, I have to admit that. Or sorry, not the gimbal, the camera could be used even though I didn't create an account. But again, if I don't, my warranty probably would be null and void because we agreed to the terms and services that were buried in a bunch of legalese. So I did create an account, got into creating the account. It pops up and says, now, do you want a 1-year plan or a 2-year plan? Again, nowhere to say decline and move on. I'm sitting there trying to get out of the page to get back to the front of the app. Finally, I take a look at the very top, and there's a home page. I hit the home page, and I got out of that screen that said 1 or 2 year plan. Just to be clear, you have 30 days after you activate your Pocket 4 to go back and get that extended warranty of 1 or 2 years. And that's above and beyond the 1-year warranty that's included with the Pocket 4. What it covers is accidental damage, and it said something about 2 replacement parts. Not sure what that means. Didn't get too much into investigating that. In my review, I may include that in my review. My only complaint was I couldn't get out of it without hitting that home page instead of allowing me to say decline at this time, and then DJI putting up and saying you have 30 days if you change your mind. If you like this video, please hit subscribe down below and stay tuned for my review of the Osmo Pocket 4 as well as the whole ham gimbal that's upcoming soon. Thanks again. Take care. Keep on smiling, and peace out.